What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to it.
The technology of tourniquet repair of tubeless tires is very old in itself. It was known abroad and even in the USSR almost half a century ago. However, it spread among Russian car owners en masse, and hit the shelves of auto stores only in the mid-2000s. Nevertheless, not all drivers are familiar with it personally even to this day, a decade and a half later. Many of those who are familiar with it theoretically have never used it in practice. And a huge number of drivers, having watched videos on the internet, are afraid to use it. Let's try once again to return to this, it would seem, many times chewed history and dot all the I's in the question of tourniquet repair. The process itself we have already described in the material about ways to repair tires, so let's go straight to the common myths and useful tips. A powerful misconception, spread very widely. Its proponents claim that the spiral all-for-hole preparation tears the cord threads, thereby creating a weakened zone in the tire. This legend is refuted quite simply. Since it is opposed to the correct repair in the form of installation of a fungus with disassembly of the wheel and subsequent balancing, it is necessary to refer to the documents of the companies producing fungus and the regulations of their use. In these documents you can find out that the processing of the hole and the same spiral awl, which is used as an indicator of the angle of the puncture channel in relation to the plane of the tire surface, which is important in the installation of the fungus. And even a drill bit, installed in the spindle of a low-speed pneumatic or electric drill, these are frequent stages of the installation process of the fungus. That is, there are the same activities as in the installation of the flagellum, and often even more aggressive. This is because the tire does not experience critical damage from preparing the hole by probing and reaming, and the cord is either not damaged at all, or is damaged negligibly little, which is covered by the tire safety margin. Yes, perhaps on wheels with maximum speed indices which are operated at such speeds, and for cars operated in really sporty modes. In track conditions, even such minor interventions in the structure of the tire and matter. But for the majority of ordinary car owners, the conditional harm from a quick repair with a tourniquet is not higher than the harm from a more complicated and expensive repair with a fungus with wheel disassembly. The necessity of using special glue, also called activator glue when using the flagellar repair method, is a question that has been copied a lot on the internet, but no definitive answer has been found. The misunderstanding is mainly caused by the fact that both repair kits that come with a tube of glue and kits without glue are sold. Accordingly, the instructions for the former contain a clause on the use of glue, while the latter do not. This could be attributed to the different composition of the tourniquets, but the tourniquets are the same, the simplest butyl rubber. In fact, the process of sealing a puncture with a butyl rubber tourniquet does not require glue for the so-called activation. The main role of the adhesive is not sealing, but lubrication. In the case of tires with high stiffness or a large thickness of the rubber cord layer, even the strength of a grown man is often not enough to push an awl with a harness through dry. The adhesive acts as a lubricant and the tourniquet goes into the hole relatively easily. In other words, tourniquet repair in the absence of glue is a perfectly workable scheme. The main thing is to have enough hand strength. For summer tires with elastic compound and almost all winter tires, the strength is usually enough. If the tourniquet does not enter, although you pile all your strength and weight on the handle of the awl, lubrication is necessary. Tire repair tourniquets are produced by countless anonymous Asian manufacturers. But in their instructions you will not find a word about the fact that after you get home on the plugged wheel, you need to go to the tire shop to glue the puncture in the full-fledged way, from the inside, fungus, with a complete disassembly of the wheel. But in the recommendations of major international brands that produce consumables for tire service, this can be found with surprise. Actually, this information, spread across the web, was the source of the myth about the unreliability and temporary nature of tire repair. This myth has no absolute technical basis. It goes without saying that a full-fledged fungus repair guarantees a more stable result, but the flagellated method is also reliable enough for the wheel to last for years. the strength of such a patch does not degrade over time. And the cautious recommendation of large manufacturers of materials for tire repair is quite understandable. First, they are accustomed to reinsurance on occasion and without reason, and secondly, interested in stimulating demand for the entire range of their products. According to the plan of their marketers, the car owner who punctured the wheel will first use the tourniquet in the field and then, returning to civilization, at the tire repair shop will pay for the work and supplies. How to improve the tourniquet repair kit with your own hands. The classic set for field tire repair includes 2 awls with T-shaped handles, preparatory spiral plus working with an eyelet as well as a clip of 5 to 10 tourniquets, protected in storage by glued on them on both sides of the plates of rigid polyethylene. However, even having such a set, one can suddenly face an unpleasant fact: the wheel cannot be repaired, even when doing it not for the first time and having skills. To make the set fully functional, it can be slightly supplemented and improved. First and most important, seal the harnesses with tape when storing them. After about a year of storage in the trunk, the harnesses lose the elasticity of the top layer and, when installed correctly, leak air. They should be stored with ordinary Scotch tape on 4 sides of the standard protective film to isolate them from the air. And even so, it is good to refresh the set of harnesses once a year. They are not too expensive. Second, put a half-liter PET bottle and an additional stopper with a small hole in the set. Pour non-freezing windshield washer fluid into the bottle and add half a teaspoon of dishwashing detergent. This device will allow you to find the place of air leakage by soapy foam if the puncture is not detected by the naked eye. Shaking the bottle and screwing on it a cork with a hole, you can pour soapy liquid on the surface of the tire in search of bubbles. We use non-freezing liquid instead of water to keep the solution consistency in the cold. Third, the glue activator mentioned above is sometimes very desirable, even if not as glue, but, as mentioned above, as a kind of lubricant. But even if it is present, an unpleasant surprise cannot be ruled out: it may dry out or leak out. If you do not have a glue activator, or you are not sure of its condition, add to the set a miniature container of gasoline, with which you can moisten the flagellum if necessary. Fourth, if you do not carry a universal tool chest, add to the repair kit a small pair of pliers or a miniature multi-tool with built-in pliers. Such a tool is necessary to extract from the puncture site what caused it. Fifth, add to the kit a small office knife. A knife with a narrow blade of 9 mm is enough to cut the ends of the tourniquet after its installation in the tire. This augmented and improved kit allows you to conveniently perform tire repair with a tourniquet at any time of the year without outside help and loss of time. In conclusion, while the idea of using a tire harness for repairs may seem appealing due to its convenience and cost-effectiveness, it is essential to weigh the potential risks against the benefits. Proper tire maintenance is crucial for your safety on the road, and relying on a temporary fix could lead to more significant issues down the line. Always consider consulting a professional for tire repairs to ensure your vehicle remains safe and reliable. Remember, when it comes to your tires, it's better to be safe than sorry. Thank you for watching, and drive safely.